Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street, and I know it's my time to go. Going new, and the search is a mystery. Standing on my feet, it's so hard when I try to be me.
Martial arts.
What would you do if there was a child right in front of you?
Hello, sir. Good news. The surgery was a complete success and everything went amazing. We successfully did surgery on a grape.
Stop.
Are you ready? Get your snacks, get your journals, and get comfortable. The service is about to begin.
Wearing number 1 for the Los Angeles Traffic today is 9-year-old Tommy Douglas. Tommy has lived most of his life in the hospital after being born with a potato for a heart and will undergo a heart transplant surgery next weekend. He's about as big of a traffic fan as they come, so in partnership with the Grant-A-Wish Foundation, both teams have agreed to come together and have Tommy run the first play of the game. And he got the handoff, and there he goes. Another little cutback move, and it looks like he's going to go all the way. Look at him go. Wow. This is really one of those heartwarming moments in sports where you just... Oh! Oh, my God! That was...
Would you like to introduce yourself, young lady?
I'm Naomi.
Hi, I'm Diana. Hello.
Yes, and our chat will be live for any questions that you guys might have. We will go ahead and try to answer them while we're on. Does anyone want to turn off that TV that's over there? So our sermon series is called Peer Relationships. We're going to go ahead and get into prayer, and then I'll have Diana go ahead and do our intro, okay? Lord, thank you for having us here. Thank you for everything that you teach us every day. Thank you for that wonderful experience last week when we were talking about relationships. Today we're going to get into commitment. Please allow your wisdom and your spirit to be in this room. Allow us to communicate your words and your knowledge, and all the glory be to you. And
Amen.
Amen. We also have another guest, which is this fly that is flying around us. We will name it, what's his name? Mosco? Bob the Fly is going to be joining us today. So we'll go ahead and get into the intro of the sermon series. Is that okay?
Of course.
All right, here we go.
So, it's impossible to live the right life when you have the wrong friends. Surrounding ourselves with the right kind of people should be a conscious choice. It's not something that happens by accident. We become like who we spend time with, and the people we keep around us influence the decisions we make and ultimately the way we see the world. This 4-part series is all about learning to identify the influences in our lives and reflecting on the type of people we want to become. Through examining how our inner circle friends, dating, commitment, and fear affects our relationships with those around us. Youth is going to get the opportunity to decide whether their peers are challenging them to grow in the way that God wants.
All right, guys. So it starts off right off the bat. You can't live the right life with the wrong friends. We've been talking about our peer relationships with friends, with our parents, dating, which is huge, right?
Yes.
Are we ready? What were the big conclusions of last week when it came to dating? When are you ready to date?
When you become the person who you want to date, or like you yourself, or you feel like you're ready.
Yeah, when you're 100% you, right?
Yeah,
Where you don't
not
need
giving
someone
into
else.
Peer pressure.
Absolutely.
To date, just to date. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just because all of your other friends are doing it. Yes. And we need to make sure that the person that we're dating is someone that's helping us with our purpose, that is keeping us connected to God, because he's the one that gives us a purpose. All right? So today we're going to get into commitment leading to fulfillment. All right? When you think of commitment, what do you think of?
Usually a relationship, marriage, something that binds you together
Sure. Binds you together for how long?
forever.
Ooh, forever. Or till whatever,
Till something breaks you up.
till something
that's
breaks
part
down,
of it.
right? Because there's commitments to other things, right?
Yeah.
There's commitments
Different kind of
to your job,
Mm-hmm.
commitments to a sport, and then there's commitments to people and to God, all right? So little examples are marriage is in sickness and in health. It's not until I get bored of you, right? Absolutely. So what is your standard for commitment? All right. When do you feel like, yes, this person is committed to what I'm requesting of them?
I think once you see that you are growing together, you're going in the same path. Like sometimes you have like this idea, you know, like of you feel like what your purpose is. You're like, okay, I want to accomplish this, this, and that. And if you're going together in that same direction, that's somebody who is worthwhile, you know, sticking around with me so that we can grow and go that way together.
Yeah, perfect.
That's how I see it.
How about this question? When someone says, "Can you commit to this?" Is that something that you take really seriously?
When I hear the word.
If someone is like, "You know what? We're going to get started on this, but I need you to commit to this." What kind of emotions run through your head?
I get scared.
Yeah.
That's when I was going to say, like, I get nervous.
Absolutely.
It's like that's a little too
and
strong to
and
say like that.
yes, and why is that a scary thing?
Because it takes commitment.
Because like you actually try as hard as you can. You have to do it. You are in like I don't know. It's just like too much. Basically,
You
that
have to show up.
have in your mind.
The implication is that there's follow through, right?
Yes.
That if you commit to something, that you're actually going to make the actions to do that,
Yeah,
right?
It's not like when you're like, okay, I'll get this done, you know, tomorrow, and then like, well, 2 days later, it's still not done. Like, if
Sure.
you
So-
say, I will commit, it has to get done.
So a few weeks ago, we were talking about friendship and the importance of trust and how there's accountability and then there's consistency. So when you make a commitment, you're saying, I'm accountable. I will be there. I will do that. And consistency means I will do that as often as you or
needed.
as needed.
As long as you're committed
Absolutely.
to
So
do it
we're
for.
stepping it up, guys. So I'm here to talk about God and commitment, right? So people are really stressed and anxious nowadays, and I believe that it's because they are not listening and obeying what God wants them to do. And today we're going to talk about that, all right? So we're going to go through are we living a life, or are we living a life with purpose, or are we just existing? That's what we're going to talk about today. And what is the difference? What makes it a life of impact, and what makes it just the fact that you're alive and taking up my space and my oxygen? What do you think is the difference there?
Sometimes like when I feel like if you just get into this rut, like you wake up, you know, you do whatever you do every day in, day out, you go to sleep, wake up again, do it again, go to sleep, and it's just this routine.
You know what just popped into my head? Living your day, waking up in the morning until the time that you go to bed, that has nothing to do with affecting anyone else's life. That is what existing is. You could technically wake up in the morning, stay at home, watch Hulu and Netflix all day, and who did you really impact that day? All right. So hopefully people were maybe concerned about you, but who did you really impact? So what we're talking about is we're talking about purpose. Are we living and existing, or do we have purpose to our life? All right. Is after we leave, will we have left this world better than we found it? All right. So that's what we're getting into.
Yeah, and I feel like when you talk about purpose, you know, like to kind of like simplify like how I understand it, you know, like sometimes when you do a good deed for somebody, you know, like, oh, you found their wallet, you know, you're going to return it, and then you help them get their stuff back, and you feel good about it. You do some, even if it's something, you know, small, just because it's small, it's not insignificant. But if you do something like, and it makes you happy that you did that, you know, like it makes you happy because, you know, that kind of fulfills your purpose. Like we were meant to help, you know, be around people and help each other and bring people up, you know, and be around people. And that's, you know, a baseline of, you know, why we were created, you know, to help each other and be a community. You know, so that kind of helps me understand, like, when you're starting to try to figure out, you know, your purpose is not always like, it is this big question, like, what is my purpose in life? But starting, you know, like when that makes you happy, like it kind of makes you complete, like you start, you know, because you're doing something for somebody else.
For someone else. That sounds a lot like loving your neighbor, right?
Yeah.
Jesus' two most important
commandments
are love your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and love your neighbor. Because loving your neighbor means that I'm loving the creation of God, this God that loves you so much. And the fact that I'm helping you means that I'm loving him. So it just goes full circle. So a life of purpose is a life where you're impacting others in a positive way. All right. Why are we scared of commitment? Ooh, we're going to get into two different reasons of why we're scared of commitment. Not wanting to commit because you don't want to miss out on something even better. Ooh, another reason. Or not wanting to commit because I'm afraid that if I do, I won't be good at it.
good enough, that fear of failure.
Wow, those are basically the two reasons why we don't want to commit. Like, we can make up 100 different excuses. They will fall into these two categories. All right? It always comes down to this, and that is what holds us back.
Does that make sense? The two reasons, yeah. Yeah, that first one, it's like you're waiting for, like, well, I could do this, but if you're waiting for
Yes.
something better,
Let's make an example. Like, oh, I'm gonna go feed the homeless on Saturday, and then you're like, oh well, Josue told me that we could go build homes for people, or he's told me about that on Saturday too. Maybe I should go do that, and then you end up not doing either of them, right? An example of the second one, or not wanting to commit because you're afraid that you're just not going to be able to do it right. That's easy said, right?
Yeah.
So God gives us a warning, right? And we're going to go ahead and read what this warning was in John 10:10.
do you want to read it?
Go for it.
John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full.
There you go. So he says, the thief comes only to steal and to kill and destroy. So this is a warning, okay? I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. So who is the thief and what is he stealing?
The enemy.
Ooh, what enemy?
Afraid of?
Yeah. Your fears, absolutely. What like you said, the enemy puts inside your head. I feel like every time you think that you're not good enough, or you start believing the words that he says to you, that's you falling into his trap. And that is what he's trying to warn you about right there.
Yeah.
But he says, I have come that they may have life, not that they may exist. All right? So we talked about purpose. We talked about life. So he says, I have come to go ahead and show you what your purpose is, and so that you can live a fulfilled life. That went like right
My glasses.
right in between your glasses. That was a very good fly. Bob gets in deep. He is our investigative reporter. So what he's stealing is our life, if you think about it. If he's stealing or distracting you from your purpose, then that means that he's stealing you away from your life. Because if you knew that once you found out what this magical purpose was, that your life was going to be just feel so full, would you want to figure out what this is as soon as possible, or would you be like, I'll figure it out later? Right? And the scary thing is things are happening all around us. I work in a place where you can, unfortunately, get run over by a car at any time. At any time. A car could plow right through this house if you think about it. And then that would be it. So would we have lived a fulfilled life? Wow. That's a question, right? So what
So
should we...
What do you feel like would be a fulfilled life for you?
Sure.
Deep question.
I know. Okay. More adventure with my family. Because I don't really do a lot with my family except for right now the quarantine.
Sure.
That's the most I've ever, been with my family and gotten to know them. I realized that I don't know my family as much as I thought I have. Now that I have been spending more time with like certain types because of the situations that I'm in. More, I guess you could say, protecting. I don't really protect my siblings as much as I thought I was. And
Yeah,
that is
looking
something.
out for them. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean they'd be telling me things that have happened to them over the internet, and I didn't know.
Wow.
And then I would get mad because it would be like a few months later, and I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Well, because you were with your dad, or because I didn't know if I could tell you. Like that hurts. 'cause
Wow.
You don't feel like you could tell me anything.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, so you feel like your purpose would be to protect them more, to love them and care for them more, right? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into everything because that leads us to your parents
Mm-hmm.
having those feelings about us, about me, a 34-year-old dude. I mean, my parents are constantly wanting to hear about me, wanting me. Like, if I called them every day, every hour, they would be like, that's incredible. Right?
Yes.
And I don't even live with them anymore. So it's just something we have to think of. And then we have to think about God, too. This God that's like, I want to give you this life of purpose so much. I want to give you this life. Let's go back up to John 10:10. He says, I have come that you may have life and have it in full. He's like, I don't want to give you a little bit of experience. I want to give you everything. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So, very good. And I had another point, but then she interrupted me, and now I don't remember what it is. But that's okay. It'll come up later because Jesus is right here. All right? The Holy Spirit is moving, and we're having an amazing conversation. So we're going to get into Jesus calling you to him. All right? And we see that in Matthew 16:24. Would you like to read that for me?
Yes. Matthew 16:24. Then Jesus said to his disciples, whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me.
Whoever? So it says, then Jesus said to his disciples, whoever.
And it says whoever wants to be my disciple.
Yeah. So it's not whoever, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves and take up their cross and follow me. All right? So the difference between whoever and whoever wants to be my disciple is what?
Committing.
It's
to him.
committing to being his disciple. And then it says must deny themselves. The difference of the level of commitment. So first, you have someone that says, absolutely, I'll be your disciple. And then it's the person that's even more committed that's like, I will deny myself. I will not only be your disciple, but I will deny myself. And then there's more commitment that says, I will take up my cross and follow you. So what's he asking of us?
To commit?
He's asking of us to commit and then put your money where your mouth is. You need to deny yourself. You need to carry your cross. Let's go right now.
Shaker and
All right?
mover.
But
Do something.
what is the consequence to doing that? It's having a full life because he says, I have come that they may have life and have it in the full. So are you willing to allow him to give you what you're made for, as long as you commit to who he is? All right? So that's what the word says. We're going to keep on reading in Matthew 16:25.
Okay. 16:25. For whoever wants to save their life will lose it, but whoever loses their life for me will find it.
What is that? Whoever wants to save their life will lose it. What kind of people is he talking about here? Whoever wants to save their life will lose it.
Selfish.
Oh, yeah,
That's a good word, yeah.
absolutely.
I was trying to think of a word. I'm like,
Yes. The selfish people, the people that only think about themselves. But whoever loses their life, loses their ego, loses their pride, and serves someone else will find their life. Okay?
Yep.
Yeah. So he says, can you give it to me and I will give you eternity? That's what he's saying. Or hold on to it and you'll lose it and you'll live an empty existence, not an empty life. All right?
yeah, I remember when I first read that, I'm like, what does that mean? It took me a long time to understand. But yeah, like it clicked. Like, yeah, if you're trying to hold on to your life, like, oh, well, I want to go do this. I want to eat this. I want to have this experience. I want to travel. It's all I, me. I want to do this. That you're not looking out for somebody else. You end up just having this empty existence, right? And then, yeah, like, but if you give up your life, you know, you are willing to help others and serve, you know, volunteer, do a good deed, you know, for God, then He gives you a full life. I always thought that was awesome once I understood it.
So you have a choice. Either
It's a choice, yeah.
commit yourself to yourself and just live a life of existence, or commit yourself to Jesus that wants to show you what your purpose is, wants to give you life, wants to give you a full life, wants to give you purpose so that you can live a fulfilled life. All right?
Mm-hmm.
But what does committing yourself to Jesus look like? What does that look like? Because we could say you should commit yourself to Jesus, but I don't know.
Yeah,
What are
it
you
means.
talking about?
What do I have to do?
What do you feel like that means?
What do you think?
Is it like resurrecting someone from the dead?
That'd be cool.
That would be incredible. And the word says that
You
we
can.
could do something like that. Absolutely. But what do you think? What do you think committing yourself to Him looks like?
Think first, getting to know Him.
Getting to know Him? Sure. How do you do that? There's a few ways.
What do you think?
Go to church.
Go to church. All right.
Learn
There's-
and read about him, I guess.
Learn, read about Him. There's professing that He is your Lord and Savior. All right. There's getting baptized. Because when you get baptized, what happens? And we should get into baptism, man. Baptism is a super interesting topic. Baptism means that you're pretty much killing the old you, and you're re-emerging out of the water as the new you who has committed yourself to Jesus.
But what about the babies who were just born? They don't
Sure.
really have him.
So that's a whole other thought process from
He's
a
baptized at
different,
birth.
yeah, so from a different culture. So what we believe is that you make the decision to commit yourself to God, and
As
you
an
can't
adult.
you can't do that as a child. And that can get real controversial real fast. And we'll talk about that when we do talk about baptism. Absolutely. So, and honestly, I think committing yourself is simple acts. You wake up, and instead of hopping on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, you open up your Bible app and you just play. I was listening to Ezekiel 3 today, and I was listening to the word yell at me today as I woke up. But that's what I did, because I committed myself to getting into His word every single day, because I want to be able to get the wisdom, because I want to be able to help people, which will lead me to have a fulfilling life, which will lead me to living my purpose, which will lead me to having a fulfilling life and honoring God, which will also lead me to fulfilling His 2 commandments, which really envelop all the 10 commandments. But absolutely. So get up, simple little choices, Bible app, have it read to you, and then you can go ahead and hop on Instagram. But what does that simple little action do? It shows Him that you prioritized reading, even if you're not studying, but just listening to His word. And you're like, I prioritized you now for the rest of the day, but at least you started off on the right foot, and that's going to slowly compound into a good habit, and you're going to start listening and really learning what He's trying to tell you.
Yeah, and then when you talk, like when you pray, when you're talking to Him, like He's going to remind you of the stuff that you read. He's going to be answering you. That's talking to Him is another way of committing.
How are you getting yourself ready in the morning? Are you really just looking at your outward appearance, or are you thinking about, man, how could I look in my spiritual side? How can I really make an impact in someone else's life? How can I serve on someone else? How can I just show someone compassion?
Yeah.
Right.
Or like knowing, sometimes you do face a tough person every day, at school, work, wherever, but waking up and choosing, okay, like when this happens today, like I'm going to choose to put on my kind me, and treat them with kindness. It's like they say, kill them with kindness. Like your inward appearance too. That's great. Like what choices are you going to be making today?
Yeah. And I've dealt with a lot of people that have the consequence of wanting to hurt themselves or successfully hurting themselves, and ending up in my ER or in my trauma ICU. And you always end up seeing regret, as well as when they tell you their story, they're always talking about how they did try to reach out. They did try to reach out. There was this desire and hope that someone would come and rescue them, or come and just be there to be able to just say something or just smile. And what I always talk to you guys about is that you never know when a smile, a simple smile or a gesture or a nod
Simple hello.
could just save someone's life.
Yeah.
So something to think about, all right? So are you concentrating on Jesus during praise and worship? All right? When you're singing songs or listening to songs that say, "Oh, you're incredible, you're amazing. I love you. I want to commit myself to you." Are you really like saying those words to him? Are you feeling them? Cuz I feel like that's what separates music from praise and worship. Is what are the feelings behind what you're saying. All right? Oh yeah. So do other people know that you have a belief in Jesus? Just like if they were just to interact with you, have a conversation with you, would they be like, "Wow, this guy has a faith"? Or is it something that you hide? What? I've been there before.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we kind of go through the phases, as we're learning, we're, we're a little more shy, a little more hesitant. Sure. But yeah, as you become committed, you learn more about him, you have that firm belief in your heart of who he is and what he's done for you, that you're like, yeah, you know what? I don't care, I'm telling whoever.
Yeah, because if you see like someone that's like really connected to God, and you're just like, how can you be happy all the time? It's because they've gone through all of this griminess. They've gone through like what I've gone through is family coming up to me and being like, "Oh yeah, well, you're going to church all the time? Well, then why do I still see you drinking? Or why do I still see you in the past cussing? Why do I still see you do this and that?" Like, that's the enemy trying to get in there and be like, "You're not good enough. Stop trying to learn about this because you're never going to be good enough." And unfortunately, sometimes the people that are closest to us will like really like,
they know how to get to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is our role in that point? Our role is to double down, commit to God, and be like, "Yeah, sure. But I'm dealing with this God that created the universe, and then this, yeah, I'm gonna stay up here." All right. So that's what commitment is all about. So if you're ever feeling down, or you just don't know what the solution is, then that's him giving you the opportunity to look up or look down into your book and really try to get, or just reach out to someone that cares about you, that knows him, because he'll give them the words. Absolutely. Yep. So committing yourself to him will lead you to get to know him. He will in turn give you purpose, and that will give you a fulfilling life. Do you have any other questions or comments?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay, cool.
Really just listening.
All right, so is it your way, or are you following Jesus? That's really what it's all about. Are you going to stray away because you're like, oh, commitment is too hard? There's probably something better out there for me. Or, yeah, I can't commit to this because I can't tell you 100% sure that I'm going to be amazing and incredible about it. And guess what? He knows. He knows you're not going to be amazing and incredible about it because he made you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He knows our faults.
So don't let that bog you down, all right? And I think that's all I got for you guys.
Actually, I just wanted to share. Oh my gosh, remind me. We heard it. It's talking about purpose, because we're talking about commitment. Leading to having the purpose in life, and it said purpose will come into your life for a second, and then it's up to you to keep running after it.
Wow.
So you'll figure out, okay, this is my purpose, but now you have to do the work
Sure.
to fulfill your purposes. It's
I
not
had-
just sitting down and doing that.
I had also heard another one that says faith can move mountains, but you got to pick up a shovel.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so all of
So
this
you got to do your
requires
work.
Work on your end.
And with any of these different characters in the Bible, what we need to see is that there's a call. Like God is like, you have to do this. Go talk to the people of Nineveh. Go warn these people. Go blah blah blah. Like free Israel from Pharaoh, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what? And then those people have to do the
Do it.
work. Yeah.
It's not just like,
That
yes, I want to
means
be a better person. but you
We
gotta
need to wake
listen
up
and do.
and do the simple things every single day to get to him. Because, yeah, can he just make your life incredible? Yes.
Will he?
That's the thing, is he wants you to go ahead and put in of your effort.
Yes.
And that's what builds character. That's what separates a spoiled brat
Mm-hmm.
from someone who is actually grateful for what they have. So thank you guys so much for being here. For any questions that we didn't get to, go ahead and leave it in the comments. It's always a pleasure being with you guys as well as with these lovely young ladies. And do you want to go ahead and share our question of the
Our
day?
question of the day, it's a toughie, so you get a good prize. Chick-fil-A $5 gift card. So what does it say in Matthew 16:24, and why is it significant?
Wow, that's a good one. All right, guys. So do you want to go ahead and share
Yes,
with
we
us
have
our challenge of the day?
challenge.
All right.
Our two, we walked
Chrissy-
in the room like, not it.
We
so.
we nodded, and both Chrissy and Naomi have to do this.
Challenge of the day.
So do I have to take out my gum?
Yes. You can put it in here if you want.
I'm so sorry.
I think I overplayed this. I always wanted to. Like,
Really?
I wanted to, but not bad enough. I did not commit to playing.
We did it. We did it in Mexico with V because she brought like a big thing.
Oh, the
so
big one.
everyone at the party did it. Oh, I just spit. Sorry.
Oh dear.
And then we did it at the Luxor, like we did at the HyperX Arena with his cousins. And they were doing like a live stream, and they were doing that, and they're like, for his cousin to do it, and then we ended up all doing it.
Oh my gosh. Do you want me to put them out? Or you just pick one random?
If I throw up, it's your fault.
Yeah, if you want to grab a tissue, you can spit it out in here.
Yeah, just spit it out. Don't
You
I'm
ready?
nervous now.
All right. Chrissy?
Wait, what are those?
Don't look.
I want to know.
What are the flavors? Yeah.
the
Share the
flavors.
flavors.
The white will either be spoiled milk or coconut.
I don't like either.
So
The
don't pick
one of the
one.
spotteds would be dead fish or strawberry banana smoothie.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Yes.
I want one.
Be rotten egg or butter popcorn. The butter popcorn's actually really good.
Butter popcorn is my favorite jelly
Yeah,
bean.
I never thought I would. I love it. Blue is either toothpaste or berry blue.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
The blue one.
Yes, the other spotted one would be peach or barf.
Bar.
The peach is good.
Peach is good. Okay, so we got chocolate pudding or canned dog food.
Chocolate pudding.
Either juicy pear or booger for green. The spotted blue is either tutti frutti or a stinky sock.
Oh my goodness.
The two new flavors we have are either toasted marshmallow and stink bug. And the last new flavor is birthday cake or dirty dishwater.
No.
Yay!
Are we going? How many times are we going?
Pick a number. 3? We'll be nice. We'll be 3.
Okay.
I'm gonna shake it up. Oh yeah, there's plenty. Grab your tissue.
There's enough
There's
all
plenty.
around. Okay.
I think our camera crew should do it
I
too.
did the last gross one.
Right. Are you ready?
I almost
1.
puked that.
Oh Lord,
Here, I'll put it
I'm
in your hand.
nervous.
Oh.
2. Ah. Sorry,
4,
put
5,
him back.
6, 7, 8.
Or put him on the table.
Oh, it doesn't smell good.
Ready? Put it in your
Does
mouth.
it smell
Don't
like
smell it.
anything?
3,
How'd you smell
2,
it?
1.
1, 2, go.
Oh, I'm safe.
What'd you get?
That was good. I
Was
don't
it the
know.
dead fish or the barf?
Stink bug?
Oh, the stink bug. Oh, the stink bug.
That's disgusting.
It smells like stink bug.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I think mine was the strawberry banana.
Strawberry banana. What did you get, Naomi? I should have checked the colors. Tutti frutti. All right. Ready for round 2?
All right.
That's a good one.
Get all bad.
Don't jinx it.
Oh,
I know I'm gonna get all the bad ones now. That first one was good.
Yeah,
Put
really
that
good.
one back in.
How did yours taste?
Like a stink bug. Put some back in.
Oh, never mind. Because they were both red. So one
Don't
of-
smell it. Don't smell it. Here, just grab it.
Why not? I want to
Ew.
smell
I
it.
mean, jelly beans, you tend
You
to
ready?
smell it.
Yeah, you can't really
Why
smell it.
can't I not smell it?
So you either have peach or barf.
What's up?
You have. Is that dead fish or strawberry? I think.
No. That
I think
one.
that's the other.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then yours is either
Canned dog food.
canned junk food or chocolate
Mine's
pudding.
what?
Dead fish. No, that one's blue.
Oh, gross. All right, here we go.
Either of them. So.
1, 2,
One.
3. Which one is it? You can spit it out. I love this game. We should have grabbed water.
This one's yummy.
Not the good one.
You got the dead fish. Yeah.
This one was peach.
About as cheered up.
Oh. Okay. You're like, that's gross anyway.
All right, number 3.
Last round. Last round.
Oh, that was gross.
Whichever one you want to take the risk. Hoping it's butter popcorn.
Yeah, I'm
Either
I
butter
really like
popcorn or rotten egg.
Okay.
You have either booger or juicy pear. And then you either have birthday cake or dirty dishwater.
Okay, you guys ready?
No.
I think so.
I'm still
Yeah.
chewing.
You're eating it.
Yeah, I really
Did
like
you?
chocolate pudding.
I like did it once and let it sit.
Me
And
too.
then I was like,
Nope.
It was not good. All right, here we go.
1, 2, 3. Rotten egg. You got the rotten egg.
Oh.
that's disgusting.
What did you get? What does that taste like?
She knows what booger is.
Yeah, you know when you're crying? You know when you're crying and it just goes down your.
It's salty.
All right, guys.
Oh.
We love you guys very much. We will see you next week. See how else Diana tortures us next week.